I think this thing is not going to stop because I really think the bandwagon momentum on WSB is real. And I think there's so many more people like me that lurk in the shadows that don't post their positions because they're like, who gives a fuck? I don't have time for this. I think there's so many more people in the shadows like me that are in the stock. So that's why I'll take the risk.
And so they all got together, thousands of them, and they bought a shitload of that stock, and the price went fucking flying, like went way up.
Yeah.
And so then all the hedge fund people that were gambling on it losing money, they lost billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like instantly. And Wall Street started panicking. And so then they realized, these Redditors realized they can do this. So they started doing with other stocks, like movie theater stocks.
You know, we've been trying to inform, you certainly have been working to inform what you call the retail investor. You call these guys.
The regular person.
Right, the merry men, because they're different. This is a different cohort to a certain extent.
They're very, look.
How are you going to stop Reddit? How are you going to stop these intelligent fucking people with plenty of time? That are organizing.
So can but you'd have to know how to actually do it. Because I was over here like, maybe I should call my brother and tell him he should get in on this.
People are trying to buy stock in a free market, and they're trying to buy companies like GameStop and AMC and Nokia. These are not companies that are under investigation.
Troy Bruce says the elites think that they will defeat us, but we will not budge. I'm currently holding 100 shares of GameStop with my diamond hands. If deep effing value holds, we hold. GameStop past the moon, headed for Alpha Centauri.
You've got the ability to coordinate so effectively. The proletariat can now gather en masse, and they can do things instantly. And there's, no matter how big the hedge fund is, we've seen here power in numbers on the internet, timed correctly, enough understanding of what's going on, and a lot of caffeine. Like, you combine those things together.
These Wall Street firms, their exposure is nearly infinite. The shorts can keep climbing as the value keeps growing. But for most of these people that are throwing in a couple bucks or throwing in a couple $100, their risk is literally just that money. If I buy a stock for $10 and the stock hits zero, I lost $10. I don't care. But if you have 5 million people doing that, all putting in that money, now you've got $50 million invested in these companies. Sure, $50 million could be lost, but for an individual, it's not that much.
They don't even care if they make money as long as the hedge fund guys lose.
I saw a lot of that on my timeline today where they're like, it's not even about the money now. I don't even care.
They have pushed the prices of these stocks up, forcing all the hedge fund managers and hedge funds that have shorted these stocks to cover their bets, and they're not happy about it.
This is a business transaction that has a time limit to it. And you say within
that's the key. You don't actually own the stock, but there's a time value involved, and that is the key to everything. In other words, Sam, you like IBM, you want to hold it for 3 years. That's a beautiful
like
thing.
IBM.
Uber stock.
All the little guys are like, we're just hold, don't sell.
The little guys are generally retail investors.
It was like a prank, though, right? The people are on like.
It's not a prank. This is real money.
First of all, congratulations to them. We all wish people can make as much money. And we wish they were making it on Apple, or we wish they were making it on Microsoft.
So one of the first times the retail investor is going to fuck a hedge fund. And so mainstream media is painting retail investors as doing some sort of collusion or market manipulation. But what the fuck is market manipulation?
That's what
there's no such thing. Like, then what the fuck is Jim Cramer doing every day? I'll tell you one thing Bret doesn't have. He doesn't have paper hands. Fuck them. He's going to hold on to GameStop.
That's right.
Through the squeeze,
I don't have paper hands.
Did you invest in GameStop?
I did.
They got
How
paper
much?
hands.
I honestly want to know, $850.
Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Buy the stocks. Mm-hmm. Hold their feet to the fire.
You've got an economy shuttered, and a bunch of people sitting around saying, "What do I do? I'm angry." And then some dude goes, "Hey, you know that stimulus check you got? Hey, just put a little bit into this stock. They'll lose billions of dollars." Okay, click. I'm done.
This is not a hack. This is an exploit.
People who don't know what stocks are, don't know how trading works, aren't on Robinhood, aren't on any of these apps, and they're like, "I'm in."
It's really these independent day traders versus, the Goliath institutional big banks, hedge fund people. It's one of the most interesting things in finance that has probably ever happened in history. And people are lining up on either side of it. Dave Portnoy and Elon Musk seem to be for this kind of, disruption. And then you have people like Elizabeth Warren.
We all see what's happening with GameStop.
There are rich people on both sides of this, people who are trying, it appears, to manipulate this market. How do you know who's manipulating the stock at this point? I mean, people are liking to tell a David versus Goliath story, but are you entirely sure that's right? Are you entirely sure that there aren't wealthy people on both sides? It's bad for Wall Street, but ultimately it's bad for our country.
What it really is people trying to wrestle back a little bit of power, not even a lot, a tiny bit of power from these oligarchs, and they won't have it. They can't do it. They won't let you do it. GameStop gets to 400, they halt trading.
It is currently holding the price that it is holding in spite of the fact that people are literally not able to buy in.
I mean, you have hedge fund managers crying on CNBC. Leon Cooperman's in tears on CNBC, be like, I care. I care. That's why I'm upset. It's because I care. Remember that. You're making money and they're crying because they care about you. It would be like if you walked in with a winning scratch off and you won 30 grand and everyone you told started crying. You're going, this isn't the way it should work. What about the fundamentals? What? Well, what about necessary market functions? What? Remember everyone who was against this. Remember everybody that came out and said that this was egregious and it leads to market instability.
It really puts a lot of question about the integrity of the market, right? And it really kind of, everybody's scratching their heads over this. What should happen? What is the right thing to do to control this or stop this? Not unlike what we saw on January 6th at the Capitol, right? If you don't have the police in there at the right time, things go a little crazy. And that's kind of feels like what's happening with this. Much different, much lesser degree. It's financial harm, not personal bodily harm. But certainly that's the same kind of, platform created frenzy that people are operating under. And these are very trying times.
Would you mind explaining to me what the harm here is?
Well, I think you know what the harm here is, Rob. I think it's very obvious. According to according to Reuters, the losses on shorts topped $70 billion. So there's the harm. There's the harm. Hedge funds lost money.
Wealthy people took a real licking on this one.
Yeah, that's right. So there's your harm. It's kind of just like this violent insurrection, except this time with regular investors betting on a stock that did well. They're concerned that they can't do this, that nothing's stopping them from doing this again. That, now okay, so
stop. Wait, come on, you're going too fast.
Carl, you see this too. The system is broken right now for certain stocks, for the heavily shorted stocks. Take the home run. Don't go for the grand slam. Take the home run. You've already won. You've won the game.
They played by the rules that had been set against them.
Yes.
And they used those rules to win. And those rules, as you were just saying, are still in there.
It's not even that it can continue to happen. It's that it's almost impossible to stop.
Correct.
This is the beginning. Okay. The Wall Street bets and now all of the angry people have found the fusion reactor weak point of the Wall Street Death Star.
I wish you were only dealing with one group of nefarious elites. You're actually dealing with many different cartels of people, all whom want you dead. The forces that are united against us here are inconceivably powerful, incredibly dedicated, very connected, and every day while you are sleeping, they are marshaling their considerable amount of power, all of their resources, their legal team, their marketing department, their brand ambassadors, their social media influencers. They're getting them all together, and they're going to put together a war chest of fucking it's just going to blind you.